there, everybody. It is March 17th. It is Thursday. It is also St. Patrick's Day, and it is time for my sketchbook review. And this week I'm going to go ahead and do a digital sketchbook review because I've been doing a lot of my work on the computer lately, and I don't have as many sketches as I normally would like to have for a actual sketchbook review. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this in lieu of a traditional sketchbook review, and then like next week I'll pick up with it again. And I think like every month I'm just gonna kind of go through and hit all my favorites for the month. Obviously there's like way more digital sketchbook stuff that I could be showing, but I'm not going to do that because I just don't have that much time. It would go for hours. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and go over my favorite works for this month, and yeah, so let's get to it. First up, we have Cherry O'Boylan as a can-can dancer. I kind of got onto this kick of doing can-can dancers this past week or so, actually just really the past few days. And it started with her. I kind of had this headcanon going where she ends up being one of the Dullahan girls because she wants to be able to take care of her parents, and really your two choices in the boroughs are to get into heavy-duty crime in order to make ends meet, or prostitution for the ladies, or to get married and get moved up. And since she's not exactly good marriage material, her choices are pretty much limited to prostitution and crime. And she does the crime thing, but it doesn't pay as much as being a Dullahan girl. Now that's not, I mean, I say the word prostitute, but they're not all necessarily sleeping around or whatever. Cherry in particular does, but that's another story. This is years down the road. Obviously she's not doing it now, she's still a minor, but whatever. But I had this idea that she'd be a dancer of some kind, just to kind of, I don't know, make extra monies. And I was like, well, let's draw her as a can-can dancer, because I kind of like how the dresses go all frilly and they show off and everything like that. And she's just, that's her personality. She basically flaunts it, but she doesn't always give it up for free. I mean, it depends on who you are, but whatever. That's Cherry for you. But it turned out really, really, really nice. The things I really, really like about this is how her corset came out. I'm not too happy with the frills, just because I don't know, I tried to keep it simple, but then I was like, but it doesn't look great. So whatever. But I really like how her hair turned out as well. It just looks so good. Oh, look at that motion and that braid. Yes. Her face turned out really nice too, but yeah. So there's this image. Let me see. I've got other can-can dancers. I did Eva. I bullied Eva's creator into letting me do her as a can-can dancer, and well, I didn't really bully her, she let me do it, but yes. And so we have little Eva here, who honestly, she would be so embarrassed to do something like this. She's such a cutie. But I really enjoyed doing her hair because she kind of has that ombre whatever effect to her hair, where it's lighter up top and darker at the bottom, and then working in the shades with that. It was a challenge, but it was a good fun challenge for me, and I enjoyed it. And then working in her skin tones in particular, because she's gray, not white, not brown or anything like that. So working that in with a color to kind of offset that was a little difficult, but her creator pretty much told me to go with blue, and I went with blue, and it worked out really, really good. So I was happy with it. And in her case, her feet just, they turned out great. Really like that. The whole thing overall, like hers is the cutest one, like the cutest pose, I think, because her little butt butts up, but everything else is just like the whole picture itself is really cute. I'm very happy with it. And so I had, I also did Piper. Of course I did Piper. If I do Cherry doing something, I tend to do Piper doing something. Piper was a bit of a challenge though, because I wanted to keep her innocent, but I also wanted to keep her, like, because can-can is supposed to be provocative. I wanted to do something provocative for her. And Piper she's not the provocative type. So I worked on it a bit, and I tried to keep it cute, but at the same time I tried to keep it flirty, and I think I really got that. She is the only one, like I've done I think 4 of these. She's the only one who's wearing actual bloomers. Like everyone else wanted the frilly underwear, and I was like, oh, okay. But Piper is the only one who's actually wearing like legit bloomers. So that's the difference. And I tried something different with the lace here, and it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. I was like, ugh, whatever. But I love the shading in the skirt. I did a really good job on that. Her corset ended up too tight. I meant to add a little bit of thickness here, and I meant to add a little bit of thickness here just to kind of take away from this drastic tapered effect in the middle, and I forgot. So I finished the entire piece, and I was like, oh crap, I was going to go in and do that, but I'd already submitted it, and I was like, well, forget it. I like how her corset top came out, though. I took a chance on that because I took away her normal frills that she has at the top. She tends to be a little bit more covered up and not as cinched up, but for Can, obviously she has to be. So I took a chance with that, and I added a little bit of a blush to her to kind of keep that innocent feel to her and everything. But yeah, other than that, everything else turned out really, really good on her. I love how her hair turned out. It's got a nice motion to it. It's a little bit messy to show that she's working. So yeah, everything turned out really nice with her. I love how hers turned out. Her eye could be over just a little bit more, but and just to kind of show you guys my process, this is the sketch for her face. Like, it's not the whole sketch. The whole sketch is much larger, but I just took a quick screenshot to show somebody kind of the expression I was going to give her. But this is like my creative process, is scribbles and scribbles and more scribbles. And my god, my phone is just making all sorts of noise the second I start to record. I don't get it. Oops. We're back to Eva, I guess. But anyway, so that was Piper. Yes. And then Z saw that I was doing all of these Can, and she asked if I would do her character Lily, only obviously much younger. So she and I talked about it, and I kind of gave her some suggestions on what I could do. I tend to always be very careful with other people's characters. With Eva, I had the creator right there in live stream, so she was kind of walking me through it. But with other people's characters, I tend to be very careful because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to upset anybody. And I have had people get upset at me for portraying their characters in ways that they don't believe that they would be portrayed. So I was very hesitant to do it, but I did it anyway because, you know, she's pretty cool with me. And we just decided to go kind of with a little bit of a showier position, like with her having a little butt out here. But I covered it in frills, so it's like, okay, it's super frilly, you can't even see anything, so that's good. She did ask that I do Lily as a younger version of herself, which I was okay with doing. I was going to do anyway. But to be honest, I thought it would be really cute to have old lady, you know, 4-time Mama Lily out there doing it. But I also wanted to kind of do these large curls that Lily always wore in her youth. So I was going to go with that anyway, and she agreed with it, so whatever. Her eyes are still a little bit too big and still a little bit too close, but what's done is done. I can't change it. Well, I can change it now, I just don't want to. The position was difficult to sort of portray, but not, I don't know. I get the idea. I feel like I could have worked a little bit more on this and gotten it. I love how her legs turned out. I made her have thicker legs on purpose. I feel like Lily's just always kind of had thicker legs versus somebody like Piper, who's malnourished and just thin all around, and Cherry actually has thinner legs. Eva has little legs, but Eva is much smaller than these girls, like height-wise, so that makes more sense. Oh wait, she asked for a garter too, and then we went with red and black. So red and black is like a staple Can color scheme, and it really matched with Lily's hair and everything. Of course, I went with just a really, really dark red for the corset top as opposed to a full-on black, and I tend to do that. I don't like full-on black, but it really offsets with the tail color and the hair color, which are like a cool blue-black. So yeah, it turned out really nice. I was very happy with it. And those are my canners. See, when did I tell you? The second I start recording is when everyone starts sending me messages. Like, it's been quiet all day. But let's go back to Cherry. I also did this as sort of a means to kind of get to know her. She has the light tan. She's got the dark tan and then the light tan, and I really wanted to know where the light tan was going to fall on her, and I wanted to plot that out. Initially, this is actually a nude pose. I put colors or clothes on it to kind of make it suitable for work so I could upload it everywhere, but it kind of really portrays her personality. She's just a very spunky, very eager, very almost over enthusiastic person. Like, she wants to fight, she wants to scrap, she wants to do what she does. And yes, so the expression, the body movement, everything on her, it works so well. So I was really happy with this, even though it was just something I did really quick to sort of just plot out where her light tan versus her dark tan is. And then I threw a quick little background on it, and she's like in a ring, and I imagine like Missy's off to the side here fighting. I actually want to do a versus of them here pretty soon, and I have plans on doing it. I just need to get around to doing it, and I'm lazy, so what can you do? But yes, so sometimes that's why I do PNGs. If you notice, like all my can dancers are all PNGs. I do them PNGs because I don't always know what I want to do for a background. So when I don't know what I want to do for a background, if I leave them as a PNG, then I can go ahead and take the colored art, and I can just, because it's a transparency background, and I could just plop it into a background that I make really quick, and it works better that way. But this actually is a JPEG. Oops, this is a JPEG because I kind of knew what I wanted to do, and I just hurried up and tossed it in there really quick. But yes, normally I leave everything PNG, so that way I could toss it into whatever background I want to do. I did this really nice soft picture of Piper in sort of like an Asian dress thingamabobber. I did soft shading on it and all this stuff. I just wanted to do something very soft and very well, kind of reflective of her personality, her gentle side. I mean, most of the pictures I do of her are very gentle, but I really wanted to do this, and I was having a really rough time when I was doing this, so it kind of kept my mind off things, especially all these frills and ruffles and everything down here, figuring out the stone texture and all of that good fun stuff, figuring out what flower represented her, and I kind of went with like a purplish pink snapdragon. And just overall, I'm very happy with this piece. It turned out very lovely. It's very soft. It's very expressive of who she is as a person and how I've always wanted her portrayed. I mean, she has her moments of being feisty, but you know, for the most part, she tries to be this calm, sort of gentle person. Versus Cherry, who is absolutely not a calm and gentle person. Oops, keep doing that. Stop it. Oh my God. Okay, so are you gonna? Okay, stop doing it. This was an older digital painting of Cherry back in the medieval setting that I've got her going in. She's going to be sort of like this outlaw, and Jasper is supposed to come after her to try and catch her or something like that. I just haven't really developed the idea because I kind of got sidetracked with Harp and Stars, and I really need to get back on it because there's so much I want to do with my own characters, and I just get so wrapped up in everybody else's characters. But I did this really quick to just kind of practice drawing Cherry a little bit. It turned out alright. There was a little snippet that I had written that I plotted in there with her, and it fit pretty well. I like it. There's things about it I would definitely change, but what can you do? What's done is done, and it's all a learning process. And then this was just a quick, oh my goodness, stop doing that. This is just a quick sweaty picture of Cherry post-fight or something. I really just wanted to work with sparkles. So I added some sparkles in there. Whatever, it's cute. But yes. So that's pretty much it for the digital stuff that I want to show you guys for my mouse works. I did a couple duck works over the past month and a half or so. And this here is Scarlet Featherfan as a succubi, duccubus, whatever. And this is part of a role play that I had done over on the Duckverse, where there was a huge reset, and part of that was that Scarlet got to be a duccubus for a little while, like a very short while, like a very short while. But her design that I had planned out for her was just so striking. I really wanted to do it digitally and share it with everybody, so I did. And then this is actually a scene where like there's magic and whatever going on in the background. But I was very proud of the color job I did on this. I feel like it came off exactly the way I wanted it to. I didn't really struggle with this one as much as I thought I would. The background came pretty simply to me once I sort of knew what I wanted to do. Getting the lines colored, I mean, it's a lot easier than I made it out to be. I tend to make things a lot harder than they need to be. But all the glowy effects and everything, I was just so happy with it, and it turned out so well. And Scarlet just looks amazing as a duccubus. Too bad it didn't last. And then the other one that I did that I kind of want to show you guys, I mean, pardon the lame background, was this one of Piper, Duck Piper, because there's Mouse Piper and Duck Piper. Duck Piper over on the Duckverse, I try to keep her personality very similar, but she's more modern, so she doesn't have necessarily a gentle personality. She is a little bit snippier. She's more modern in the fact that she's not as reserved, but she's still very kind and she's still very cautious and she still tries to help people whenever possible. But this Doberman just is not having it. He is just going to be a pain in the butt. And he was a very big pain in the butt. He was actually quite mean to her. But she worked through it, and Celia came to the rescue. But Duck Piper I haven't drawn in a very long time. So her face was just, it actually needed a little bit more work before I submitted it. I just kind of got tired of looking at it. And when I get tired of looking at something, I just hurry up to finish it and then submit it so I can move on to the next thing. And that's kind of a bad habit of mine. But the thing is with digital art is you can always go back and change things. So even though I'm not happy with it, I know that I can always go back and change it if I'm just having an off day with drawing and need something to work on. Very happy with how her clothing turned out in this. I live streamed this, and on live stream, for some odd reason, all of my yellows always look really green, so people could not figure out what I was doing. And then when I uploaded it, they sent me messages like, "Oh my god, it was gold! I thought it was green." It's like, no, it's just some weird RBG through OBS, through Picardo, through people's monitors sort of thing. I really need to figure out how to fix that because it really does sort of throw off the colors. And when I actually take pictures on my Cintiq, or if I capture a screenshot on my Cintiq, the colors are still off, so whatever. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for this sketchbook review. I just figured I would show you guys some of the digital stuff. This isn't all of the digital stuff. Obviously, like I said, there are tons of sketches. There's other artworks that I haven't shown on here. They're not ones that I really feel are my best or show well, and I do show you guys my mistakes and everything, but with digital artwork, I'm like, I mean, even this is a mistake. I mean, look at that arm. Oh my god. But yeah, I just figured I would show you guys the stuff that I enjoyed, I guess, the most. And I mean, there's fan art and stuff like that. I've been doing some coloring for Harp and Stars, and I'm not going to show that because it's not really my work 100%, and I don't feel right showing it. But yes, I will show you guys at least this stuff because it's cute. This is very cute. But yeah, so this is a little bit of the other stuff I do besides just my traditional stuff. So you guys know I'm like super busy all the time. Personal notes, we got a couple this week. I did put up a contest. Not contest. I keep calling it a contest. It's not a contest. I did put up a giveaway announcement, so you guys can go check that out. I'm doing my 5,500 subscriber giveaway. I did get a call this morning that I'm going to be starting my training on Monday, so there's that to look forward to. It also means I'm going to be relatively busy outside of artwork, but that's cool because I need money, like super bad. I do have $10 sketch commissions open right now, so you guys can go to my DeviantArt and check that out. And yeah. So go ahead and go enter that contest if you guys have and to make it clear, because I keep getting people asking, they don't know what link to put. It's your YouTube link. It says it right in the instructions to put your YouTube. So you go to my YouTube or my channel and you just copy the URL and put it into the contest thing. That's all you've got to do. That's the only thing you have to do to prove that you are a subscriber to me. I mean, I'll check whether or not you're subscribed, but you get what I mean. So that's the only thing you need to do in order to subscribe or to enter my giveaway, and it's going to be an Avatar: The Last Airbender art book, which shipped today, so it should be here next week, and a sketchbook, and probably some odds and ends to go with it, and some Prismacolor color pencils. So pretty neat prizes, guys. Go enter that contest. Go watch the video and figure out how to do it. But other than that, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for subscribing. If you guys are new and liked what you saw, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment below. And I will see you guys in the next sketchbook review.